I absolutely love anchoring MLB Network's normal coverage of the winter meetings. It's just so much fun. I know people think we work hard during that event, and I guess we do, but the people who don't stop working are the beat writers, team reporters, the journalists who are literally prepared to be on TV all morning, day, and night. 4 such journalists join us now for this virtual Insiders Roundtable. Susan Slusser knows everything about the Oakland A's. Amy Gutierrez, Amy G, across the bay, covering the Giants. Out east, we got Trisha Whitaker. She reports on the Rays, while Meredith Marakovits covers the New York Yankees. And Meredith, good to see all 4 of you. I'm going to start with you, Meredith, because are you prepared to cover the narrative that the Yankees are the back page team, that this winter the New York Mets are going to be the front page headline in the Big Apple? Or is Brian Cashman leading us all on? He's still going to win the winter.
Time will tell. And I think we all need to remember it's not always who wins the winter that wins at the end of the year. So I think while everyone is paying attention to the winter, there's certainly a ton of interest there. Even if they do win the back page several times, I still think the Yankees have a plan in place, and Brian Cashman has proven that over the years. But I really think their first order of business, Greg, is going to be trying to lock up DJ LeMahieu. They've had discussions. DJ LeMahieu would like to come back to the Yankees. They're trying to get a deal done. Will it get done? That remains to be seen. The Yankees, like every other team across Major League Baseball, lost money due to the pandemic. No fans in the stands. I don't think the Yankees are going to go out there and spend on multiple high-priced players. LeMahieu could be it if they can get a deal done.
Wow, that just blows me away. You know what else blows me away, Trisha? You cover the American League champion Tampa Bay Rays. Your team went from cruising to a Game 7 of a World Series to losing the World Series, dangling Blake Snell, the guy that was dominating in Game 6 of the Fall Classic. Charlie Morton walks non-competitive there. He gets a 1-year deal, go back to the National League. What are the Rays doing?
Well, they're doing a lot, Greg. I mean, yesterday when we talked to Rays GM Eric Neander, he spoke to the media and he put their needs this way. He said, we would be happy to roll into next year with exactly what we have, minus our catching situation. He said the catcher spot is a spot that the Rays need to fill. Currently, they only have 1 catcher on their 40-man roster, and that's a prospect. That's Ronaldo Hernandez. Mike Zunino's 2021 option was declined. Mikey Perez was claimed off waivers by the Pirates, and Kevin Smith elected free agency. Now, Neander did say he wants to keep the lines open with Zunino and Smith, citing that those two, in their own way, did a nice job and filled needs that were critical last year when the Rays went to the World Series. But with that being said, Neander really emphasized that we have to do it within our means. We know that the Rays have one of the lowest payrolls in baseball. But, Greg, the good news is they went to the World Series last year with one of the lowest payrolls in baseball.
They did.
So it's an easy challenge for them.
Within our means, I've heard that before, right, Susan? I mean, the Oakland A's say that all the time. Within our means. I went to break saying, Marcus Semien, is there a chance the Oakland A's aren't even considering bringing back a staple of their infield? Are they considering it?
Well, I will tell you, Greg, they have not made him an offer yet. And that's one of their 10 returning free agents that they could be looking at losing. It's very similar to the Miguel Tejada situation, which you'll recall after the 2003 season. The A's said, we're not even going to make him an offer. We don't want to insult him. I think that's where the A's are with Marcus Semien right now. Nobody really knows what this market looks like. So there's always a possibility, if maybe it's not as robust as perhaps Semien and his agent Joel Wolf are thinking, that maybe they could talk to the A's about, say, a 1-year deal or something like that. But I got to think at this point it's a long shot. And they just don't, they're telling all agents that they have no money. So who knows what they're going to spend. If they do spend, it's probably going to be on the bullpen where they're looking at 4 openings.
Yeah, so many guys, so much turnover there. Amy G, I want to talk about the San Francisco Giants. Is Farhan Zaidi buying into the fact that this team was competitive in a 60-game pandemic-shortened season? And let's just play pretend. Let's say he is, and he wants to add on and put this team over the hump. What are the San Francisco Giants doing to try to win right now?
Well, I think Farhan Zaidi absolutely thinks that the Giants are competitive, and I think they surprised a lot of teams last season, even though it was a shortened season. I mean, they went down to the final game of the season. They controlled their own destiny, and unfortunately, they couldn't get it done. But with that, there's some glaring holes that the Giants are definitely willing to admit that they need to fill, and that's the bullpen, the back end with the closer, and of course, their starting rotation. Now, I don't know if Zaidi's formula really is going to be to go get a big name free agent to add to that rotation. Their philosophy, which we saw last year, is really about taking on players that they want to develop, players that still have a ceiling. I think they're going to focus on the non-tendered guys or draft picks that didn't live up to the hype, because they have Cueto coming back. They signed Gosman, and they have some youth that's going to infuse that rotation in Logan Webb. And of course, Tyler Beattie's going to come back. So I think they're going to look at what could complement that rotation as their top priority. And I think they're going to go with a more unnamed signing over either these winter meetings or in the offseason.
I want to come right back at you, Amy, because Buster Posey opted out of that last season, 2020. He's coming back. Joey Bart has got to be the part of the core, the future of the San Francisco Giants. How are they going to do this balancing act?
It's a great question, and it's actually a really interesting situation to watch develop. I mean, you saw how missed Buster Posey was last season, and unfortunately for Bart, he was thrown into a situation that he really wasn't prepared to handle through no fault of his own. He never played a game in AAA because of the pandemic. So with some weaknesses at the catching position, they brought Joey Bart up. I don't think the Giants really wanted to do it, and then you saw why. The thing with Joey Bart is he hasn't learned how to fail at this level. And so what does that mean with Buster back next year? Well, the Giants are big on mentoring, Greg. They want Buster to spend time with Joey Bart, but I highly doubt we're going to see Joey Bart start at the big league level, the season at the big league level, and sit on the bench. He needs reps, he needs time, and he needs to learn how to fail. You're going to see those two locked at the hip in spring training and very likely towards the end of the season.
Good luck winning that division. I mean, the Dodgers are such a power, and they even got better with getting Corey Knebel. But, Susan, I got to tell you, the AL West is a winnable division, and the Oakland A's still have talent. I hear from many teams that they don't have any money, but you can rebuild a bullpen without spending a ton of money. What is the game plan to replace so many open spots in the bullpen for the A's?
Well, the good thing is the A's are among the best team in the majors when it comes to finding talent, and there are 80 free agents out there. This is not going to be a market where there are a ton of really high-priced guys. I don't think just because of the sheer volume. The A's will be able to find some good names. I think the top of their list, they would love to have Yusmeiro Petit just come back. He's so reliable. He's cool, calm, unflappable. He's the leader of the pitching staff. Their rotation is strong. If they can just have even a semblance of a good bullpen with maybe Jake Diekman closing, my kind of personal pick is maybe A.J. Puck as he comes back from shoulder surgery. I love the idea of, kind of the Randy Johnson-like lefty as a closer, but they will find somebody. Hendricks came out of nowhere to be a great closer. Blake Trinan came out of almost nowhere to be a very, he had that awesome 2018 season. I think the A's feel like they'll be okay in the bullpen. It's the questions at shortstop and even second base that are really going to be the ones that decide the A's season. All
right, I'm going to ask all four of you to make a decision. We're out of time, but I'm going to play pretend. All four of you cover a team. If I told you your team was going to add one significant name, either trade or via free agency, I just want that name. So before I let you go, Meredith, give me the name the Yankees will add if you knew they're adding one.
I believe they'll add DJ LeMahieu at the end of the day, Greg.
Okay, that's a safe pick, and I like it. Tricia, what about the Tampa Bay Rays? Give me one.
I can't give you two. I have two. I have to give you two. Nelson Cruz or Adam Wainwright. That's my pick, Greg. That's my opinion. Yes,
that's interesting.
What I'm going with.
Charlie Morton mold. Okay, I like that. Susan, give me one name the A's could add.
Well, I'm going to cheat and kind of say two, and also I'm super cheating because it's their previous guys, Petit and Tommy La Stella, who Billy Beane had told me before the season even ended, we want this guy back. I don't know if it's realistic, but they love him. All
right, so I'm just going to let Amy have the same. Give me one or two names, Amy, because that's clearly the way we're playing this game. Give me one or two names.
I was afraid Susan might take mine because he's a former A, but I'd like to see Sean Doolittle go to the Giants. I think he'd be a great fit. And Greg, this one's for you. How about Yasiel Puig? How would that be?
Yes! I love Yasiel Puig. You knew that. Amy, Tricia, Susan, Meredith, thank you so much. That was outstanding. Again, our Insiders Roundtable during this virtual winter meetings, that was a lot of fun.